So to all those who have come, a special, very warm welcome to all the students, especially those who've just got their class 12 board results. And I know you are in a cold on what to do next. So today we have a very interesting topic on how to beat the confusion, which is related to entrance exams, gap year, courses, college selection, online education, and so on. I understand that the uncertainties have picked up enormously this year on how to choose the right college, what to do. So we have with us Mr. Prikshit Dhanda and Nirmal Agarwal. Let me introduce you. Mr. Prikshit Dhanda has been professionally trained from Harvard University. He is one of the leading life coach, motivational speaker, and career coaches in the country. With over 20 years of experience, he has mentored and trained more than 2 million students across countries, extensively in India as well as the Gulf. He's also the Chief Strategy and Knowledge Officer at MINDLER, which is the most advanced platform for online career assessment, career guidance, and career counseling in India, and are working with some of the top marquee schools in India. Warm welcome, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, Sanjeev.
And we have our another rock star career coach, Mr. Nirmal Agarwal. Please smile. The students are wanting to look at you. He's an economics graduate from Stanford University and a renowned educationist. Having worked with more than 200 schools and thousands of students over the years, he's helped them realize their dreams and aspirations. He's also the founder of Cognix Knowledge Group, which is an end-to-end educational counseling organization that administers a world-class advising program to guide students in making career choices, especially those who are planning to apply for universities overseas. And I am SANJEEV BOLIA, the organizer of the Virtual Admissions Fair, which is going live right now. Today is the last day. It's a fantastic platform that we have organized for you students, and this webinar is an extension of the Virtual Admissions Fair which we are hosting. Please make the best use of it. After this webinar, log on to virtualadmissionsfair.com, meet over 30 top Indian universities, their admissions team who are offering admissions, scholarships, all kind of counseling on different courses. Make the best use of it. So let's start without much ado. I think to set the context, Prikshitji and Nirmal, all the students and their parents are very worried. So why don't we set a context for them to first relax, and then we'll go on to taking questions to make it more interactive. Over to you, Prikshitji, and then Nirmal Agarwal, and then we'll get on with the Q&A section straight away.
Thank you. Thank you, Sanjeev. I love it when you say over to both of you, but then Prikshitji, why don't you start? I love that.
Okay.
I would have asked you to start anyway. So Sanjeev is just making my work easier.
All right. Thank you. Well, great Sunday, dear students and parents. And first, I must congratulate Mr. Sanjeev BOLIA.
Thank you.
For doing this great education fair online. I remember whenever the education fairs of affairs would happen in the country, and we would travel to different destinations, but now it's being brought to you live, you know, when you're sitting in the comforts of your homes. So first of all, big congratulations. And you know, when he asked me to set up this context, dear students, please understand, number one is when adversity strikes or situation is uncomfortable, or it's not conducive. So what is important is we adapt ourselves. So for example, I remember, you know, packing my bag, going to an airport and going to Kolkata or Delhi. Now, if this was happening at Pragati Madan, we would be there talking to you live, all right? But it can't happen. So therefore, yes, you sulk a little, you feel a little challenging, you feel odd. This is not within the comfort zone. But what do? You learn to adapt. So my request to all you young students there, yes, the student cannot make, the situation is not conducive. So what do we have to do? One simple word, easier said than adapt. But if we don't adapt, there is nothing much that we can do. All right, there is no other option. So whether we scream, shout, cry, but we have to somehow change and understand what is the situation and act or respond in a similar manner. So number one is that. Number two is, if you are still lucky that COVID has not struck our homes because we can imagine what's happening. I mean, you know what's happening. So if you are there, if you have access to internet, that means education is still going. You are still sitting at home and talking to universities. You are still sitting at home being able to plan your entrance exams. In fact, the entrance exams have been now remotely proctored. So you can sit at home, write the exams. So I'm saying the situation is still not out of our control. Okay, it's still within our reach. So first of all, I must say that let's be happy about the worst has not happened. All right. So maybe take refuge in the fact that we are still in a decent situation, and hopefully the situation should not explode and get out of hand. Okay. So that's how I'd like to leave it to Nirmal for him to, set a context, please. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. In fact, when you were talking, I just wanted to draw something and show it to everyone. It just struck my mind, something I had seen a while back. And I'll just put it up. I don't know if you can read it, but here we go. Okay, can you see this? It's the other way around, I guess. So this is actually your comfort zone. This is where you are. This is your comfort zone. And what I've written outside is life happens here, right? All of us are so familiar with this comfort zone that we are in, but life actually happens outside of it. And it has taken COVID maybe to, shake us out of this comfort zone that we were in. And we were going through our lives, getting ready, class 12 will finish, and I'll sit for my entrance examinations, I'll get my board results, I'll go to university, and suddenly we are shaken out of that comfort zone, but that's life. So take it, and I love what PD sir has said, is you have to adapt, and you have to be very resilient. You have to persevere. You cannot give up. You cannot control everything around you. You can control your reactions. Right? You cannot control someone else's action or nature's action or whatever happens, any other country's action. I don't even want to go there. But what you can control is your reaction to it. So please make sure that you adapt to this situation. Everyone is in the same boat. It's not that you are in it separately and I'm not in it or someone else is not in it. Sanjeev is facing the same situation at home, at work, and look at what they have done with this platform. And PD sir said they would pack their bags and go all over the country and take part in these fairs and go up on stage. Now we are coming to you, right? And Affairs team led by Sanjeev and Vivek have adapted to this challenge immediately over the last 3 months, coming out with this virtual platform, bringing universities into your drawing room, into your bedroom, right? That is what you have to be able to do. And everyone is adapting. You just have to do the same thing. So relax, enjoy it. It's inevitable. Take it as a learning process. Yes, a few months will not hamper your life in any ways. You're all young people. If I'm talking to people who are 17, 18, or even 1 year doesn't make a difference in your life. Just use it productively.
Thank you, Nirmal, for your kind words and giving us credit. And to all the dear students, let me share with you in 2 lines my personal story. For the last 25 years, we've been organizing education fairs, and our success was only measured by the quantity of visitors that we could mobilize. So in this pandemic, we also had to unlearn all what we learned for the last 25 years. We've still kept the context of getting people, the more number of people, but we've brought it virtually. So we had to first unlearn, then we had to learn, and now we again have to excel in whatever we've learned. So I suggest that this is a great opportunity for you to also pick up whatever kind of skills that you can in this COVID period and try and adapt to the changing times. Having said that, thank you everybody. Now, I think a lot of students are posing us this question that how do I plan? I had planned for my dream college, but I could not make it to my dream college. So how do I plan for my dream college in terms that if I cannot move to that city, what should be my plan B? How should I plan for that?
I'll take that. See, let's look at 2020, okay? If you are a student who's finished your 12th in 2020, now what are the options that you have? Okay, one option is maybe if you applied to international colleges or liberal arts colleges in India, you may be sitting on an offer. That's one. Second is your entrance exams have been shifting. All right. Engineering exams have been shifted to August, and few of them happening in September. Whether it's law, management, design, many other colleges going to August and September. So one option is I will write those entrance exams and wait for the result. However, in the meantime, while I wait for my desired or so-called dream destination colleges, because they will happen only after the entrance exams are done, I must pick up and have a backup. Now that backup could be any other institution, any private institution, whether around your house, meaning within your city, or outside your city. Please understand, have a backup. You have to have a backup. You cannot wait. Okay, I have this entrance exam in August end or September. Only when the result comes, I will think about it. By that time, dear students, may not be any choice available to you in the market. So please make sure whether it is depositing your money in a college but please block a seat for yourself. Next is, I'm sorry, I'm not interested this year. All right, because my dream destination is gone, or the way I was prepared, it didn't happen the way I had envisaged it to be, or I had thought, visualized. Don't worry, park yourself in a decent college, you study. The program could be online in all probability. We are already looking at August. By the time things become little clear, it is going to be September, October, November, which means if you park yourself in a college, study, next year, you can still have a shy at your dream destination. Like, let me give you an example. So for example, I want to make it to the best management institute or law institute, or I want to go to an IIT. Now I keep waiting for it. By the time September end, IIT JEE Advanced happens, and then I get the result. I may not be in the best position to make it. That doesn't mean keep sitting at home and say, next year, I have no idea how next year is going to be. Next year, you will also have 2021 batch. And who says next year COVID will not strike or something else will not happen? So please, request is keep yourself parked somewhere. And then next year, of course, go ahead and try. Over to you, Nirmal.
Nothing much to add. I think you've covered it all. We can move on to other questions. Yeah,
yes, Nirmal, I would just like to interject, like as Prikshit ji said. So some of the students were planning for their overseas education this year to UK, Australia, and because of the COVID, they could not continue with their plans. So what is your suggestion to them? What should they do? Should they drop? Should they join? They are quite in a confusion what to do.
Correct.
So if you can throw some light on it, please.
Absolutely. So we've been having this conversation with many students and parents over the last few months, and there are various scenarios. And I think the answer to that would depend upon you and your family. It's not one answer that is okay for everyone. It has to be based upon what your needs and desires and wants are. So number one is, a lot of the universities are going to give you an option to go do the semester online until you realize that it's safe to go to campus. So let's say you August to December semester, you're doing online and you feel that, yes, it's okay, I want to go to campus in January, so you can go ahead and do that. The second option may be taking a full gap year or a deferral. You have to reach out to the university and say, I'm not comfortable in doing it this year, in coming to campus, nor am I comfortable in taking an online course. I don't want to pay so much for an online course. Let's suppose that. So can I get a deferral? Can you hold my admission and keep that seat for me next year when I'm going to join the college again in August next year? So colleges are a business. Some of them may say, okay, no problem, we'll let you come in next year. Some of them say that, no, this is going to impact our revenue for this year, so we're not going to let you defer your admission for next year. If your college doesn't allow you to defer, you have to either take online this semester and go whenever you can, or take an online year and go later on. The third option for you is, let me do a plan B, which is take admission in India. Let me start over here, do my undergrad here, and maybe post-grad I go out of India. Or I do an undergrad, my first year of undergrad here, and then I apply to a college outside as a transfer. I don't know if any of you are aware, but you can apply to US universities as a transfer student, which means if you finished 1 year in India, you can go into a university in USA as a second year student. So you don't lose that 1 year. You can use the credits from the education you've had in that first year towards your education and fulfillment of your graduation requirements in the US university. So you could take a gap year and reapply next year to your college of your dreams. You can take a deferred admission, which is holding the same admission and joining university next year. You could look at doing a semester or 2 semesters online, as and when you feel it is safe to go on campus, you can do that. Or you can go now in case that your country is giving a visa. I know US is not giving a visa right now, but UK has just opened up their visa process last year. So in case you are comfortable and your family is okay with sending you, by all means, you can go this year and start on campus. Campuses again are taking adequate measures. I see PD sir has dropped off maybe electricity. He'll come back. In the meantime, we are there. So campuses are taking proper measures for social distancing and all health and hygiene things in place. So you need not worry even if you go onto campus. So a lot of options. I think ultimately it depends upon you and your family, whatever is it that you want to choose for yourself.
So Nirmal, even if I don't think it's a big deal if even if students have to drop 1 year, I mean, why are people getting so panicky and so worked up, especially those who are planning to go overseas if they could not make it to UK, US? We still have a lot of very good institutions in India where they can pursue their higher education and then follow it up. Or maybe if in case the situation continues, maybe if they were planning to do bachelor's overseas, they could do bachelor's here and then plan for master's rather than, keep waiting.
Absolutely.
Having said that, I just had another observation which I wanted to share with you, that there would be a very large pool of students who were going overseas, maybe 6 to 8 million. I'm really not very sure on the exact number. But in case if those numbers are not planning, a large majority are not going, so they would also be looking at very good options in India.
Yeah, right.
So does that make it a slightly more competitive for the students who are planning to get into the very marquee institution?
Yeah, that's a great observation, Sanjeev. And yes, we've been facing that. In fact, those who are going out are looking more and more at the Indian institutions. You're right, even though they are holding a space outside, but just as a backup in case they can't do anything that to go out yet, and the family says no, you got to stay in India. It is getting more competitive to get into those marquee institutions. Definitely. I just want to touch upon one more point you mentioned, and I would emphasize there is no harm in taking a gap year. In India, we have this thing that I don't want to waste a year. What do I do? I should be continuously doing my studies. I should finish my class 12 and go into college immediately. It is a very common practice in Western countries, including all of Europe, including Australia and New Zealand, to take a gap year after you finish class 12. And there are many benefits to it. Number one, you're pretty immature by the time you're 16, 17, 18, and you finish class 12. Taking a gap year and going out there to discover yourself, getting engaged in something which involves you working maybe full-time, doing social service full-time, traveling as well. I mean, you can't do that right now, but you can sit at home and maybe start doing some online courses. You can start doing some online work, doing virtual internships, doing virtual volunteer work. It is a chance for you to discover yourself, to reflect upon your life goals, to pick up skills, to understand what is it that you really want in life. Try to take up a lot of courses online and see, okay, I've taken economics, I've taken psychology, I've taken computer science. I think I enjoy computer science much more. Though I didn't have it in school, I've taken 1 year of computer science courses through online courses. I want to do that as a career. So this is a chance to discover yourself. And one of the best things that could happen to you is taking a gap year. But I say that with a qualifier. If you're taking a gap year, make sure you're doing something constructive. You're not spending your Wi-Fi at home to do Netflix and Voot and Prime. That Wi-Fi should be used for proper constructive work, like online courses, like engaging yourself in volunteer work with outside people. So reflect, discover yourself in this year. There is no harm in taking a gap year. If you're not comfortable with going to university this year, please do take a gap year. Or if you find the university in India or wherever you want to go ahead and do that, that's also fine. But don't be shy of taking a gap year.
Okay, Nirmal and Prikshit ji, we have been flooded with questions on our Facebook as well as on the webinar here. So I would request you, if possible, please do answer a few of them. Please take the name of the student while you're answering, and to the students, we'll try and answer questions on courses and general inquiries which you have, rather than on, recommending you which college to join, because that is something which requires a lot of intervention and you need to do your own research. Having said that, there is something I would like to add. Samir Ahmed has asked, I'm waiting for my joint mains and advanced to happen, but now that the many colleges are giving admissions on board basis, where I scored 96.2% in PCM, I'm stressed if I should fill these colleges or wait for national exams. like joint mains to take place. Prikshit ji, can you also guide students, like in spite of getting 97, 96, if they are still stressed? I don't think that's a very good sign. So how do they cope with stress when they have even scored so high? So can you share some of your ideas?
What was the student's name?
Sameer Ahmed.
Sameer Ahmed. Sameer, I can totally understand your plight here, your situation, because even after having scored 96%, it is not a very comfortable position because there are thousands and thousands of students who've scored that high. Okay, this year has been a record produced. We are looking at some crazy numbers of people with 95% plus. As far as now, if we look at specifically your program, I'll just come back to you. I'm just sharing this for all the students who have cleared their 12th class and have got 90s, very high 90s, or have not got 90s, okay? Or maybe in 70s, 80s, wherever. Please understand, number one, easier said than done, but 12th class is over. Your boards are over. You have got these marks. Can you do anything about it? No. Number one. So number two is your JEE Advanced and Mains is yet to happen. You would have taken, in all likelihood, you would have taken, Sameer, your IIT Main in Jan also. I don't know the score and the result. You are the best position to guide yourself as to how close or how far were you vis-a-vis your IIT Main score. If you think you are reasonably well prepared to crack JEE Main again when it happens in August, go for it. If you feel there is another additional 1 month, whatever time you have left, please give it your all and prepare. If you crack that, then go for IIT Advanced. And if you feel that, yeah, it's good enough, brilliant, go and join the IITs. In case you're not, through your IIT Main score, you could go to NITs and triple IITs depending upon your score. That's one. I don't know if you've written KPPY or whether you're looking at research or is it pure engineering, that one. Next is, I have no idea if you're writing your BITS or other private exams also. I have no idea for all this, but 96%, I am 100% sure that if you are wanting to go to engineering colleges, then your percentage does not make much of a difference to you. However, there are few colleges which will give you admission on the basis of your 12th class because you're a high achiever. They could also give you a scholarship, depends on what are your dream destinations. My request to you would be, go ahead with JEE Mains and Advanced, but out of all the lists that the entire list that you have, please at least make sure, make one decision out of these two. Either park yourself in an engineering college, take a seat, hold it for yourself, or you're very clear, you are going all out to write what is called JEE Main and Advanced. And if it happens, great. Otherwise, you're taking it next year, which means next 6-8 months, you'll prepare yourself well in advance. However, on the basis of your 96%, and I don't know, maybe physics, chemistry, maths, how have you scored? If not engineering, then park yourself in a physics major, chemistry major, maths, or a BSc program, but keep yourself in a college somewhere. That's how I would advise you. Of course, if I had the entire data, I'll leave my email ID. My email ID is here. If you want me to really give you a customized answer, please send me all the details. I'll be more than happy to write back to you, right? Sanjeev, one last thing for all the students who have scored this high and are still stressed, my request is whenever they have attended my session, whether now or previously, I keep telling these students, please remember one thing. If you are in present 12th, which means 2021 batch, please, for God's sake, with folded hands, I'm telling you, don't walk into life right now without a backup plan. I'm sorry, a lot of parents come back to me and say, why are you telling them to have a backup plan? Backup plan in itself means the failure of plan A. I am sorry. You're dealing with lakhs and lakhs of students. You ought to have a backup plan. So I am telling all you students right now, create backup plans. If you don't have backup plans, our email IDs are here. Write to us, flood us with questions. We are more than happy to give you customized answers, but have backup plans. Over to you, Sanjeev.
I think that was a real pearl of wisdom which all the students and especially the parents must take, because there's a lot of pressure from the parents also, especially for those who are targeting for very high aspirational institutions. So please do have a plan B. If you don't have a plan B, make one plan B, otherwise you're going to be in real soup. Okay, there's a question from Pratham Swami which is slightly different. I haven't got much idea about internships, but I want to do internships before I join my undergrad program for psychology. So what kind of an advice can you offer me regarding internships?
Nirmal will be able to answer that. However, I'll just add, please understand, like, for example, you talked about psychology. Now, let's understand, you can't do an internship with a hospital right now, okay? So you can't go and work live with an organization. Great. So you're stuck at home. Therefore, can you do an online internship? Can you do an online internship with a career platform? Can you do this with a clinical support platform? Can you do an internship with an organization? Online internships are happening. All right. You have to go for it. Next, like I'll give you a real example. So I was doing a webinar, a similar webinar one day, and this girl, I'm sorry, I'll not name, from somewhere in Indore or Pune, she writes back to me on my email ID. Hi, I attended your webinar on media and communication. I am a 12th class student. She's presently in 12. I'm looking for internship. She did not say, you give me an internship. I'm looking for an internship. Can you guide me? So I asked her, I replied on the email, what do you do? She said, I write. I love to write. I said, no problem. So why don't you do one thing? I have another webinar coming up. This is the topic. Why don't you write something and send it to me? So sweet. Within about 3-4 hours, she sent me, these are the pointers that you should know. I was like, wow. Okay, then do one thing. Go to my website, mindler.com. Read about these 5 blogs. Read them and tell me on this, can you construct another blog? 3-4 days later, she wrote another blog and she sent it to me. I said, it's not that great. Why don't you do one thing? These are the guidelines. Now write. Another 3-4 days later, she wrote, guess what? I said, excuse me, are you interested in writing? I immediately handed over to my team and we gave her 20 topics. We said, you will do a 15-day internship with Mindler, write about these 20 topics. At the end of 15 days, we'll give you a certificate of internship because you have created content, and she's now doing that internship with us. So what is the message that I'm trying to say? Please write, please talk to people. Say, excuse me, do you need hands and legs? Can I write for you? Can I do this for you? Can I do calling for you? Can I write emails for you? Just write to people and someone will rescue you.
Nirmal, can you please add on the importance of internships, because students don't really take this internships seriously, but just can you harp on how important internships is for a long-term career?
Correct.
And how they have an edge if they've done an internship at a good place.
Absolutely. So I would put it in 2 ways. Number one, yes, it's going to help you when you try to apply to universities, especially the ones that are looking at holistic admissions, that are going beyond just your class 12 grades or an entrance exam, to look at what you've done over the last 2-3 years before they take you in. The liberal arts places or others who are looking at other things more than your academics. Now, more importantly, I think the internships allow you to sort of explore what you might be interested in. So when you're going through class 10, 11, 12, you have a certain set of subjects and you might be interested in a few careers. It makes sense for you to get an exposure in those careers by doing an internship in that field, or what I would like to call shadowing. You may not be able to work completely with someone who's great. You don't have the skills and talent or the knowledge to do it. You shadow someone. So if you want to be a counselor, maybe you'll work with PD sir for Prikshit Ji for about 10 days, shadowing him, seeing how he's dealing with his clients, seeing how he's conducting these webinars, what kind of advice he's giving, what kind of a daily schedule does he have? Does that excite you? So when you shadow someone, you know that this is something I may want to do later on. So an internship and shadowing, apart from making your profile better and attractive for a college, also enables you to discover your interest and then say, yeah, this is something I really want to do. So more importantly, I would say in this stage, and I love the example Prikshit used, that there are a lot of virtual internships out there. I'll talk about 15 of my, again, my own case study from my organization. There are 15 of my students currently from Kolkata and Bangalore and Mumbai, all over the country, who are engaged virtually with an NGO in Gurgaon. Believe it or not, there are people from all over the country engaged with an NGO in Gurgaon. 2 of them are writing content for them. 1 of them is doing the social media posts, etc. for them. 3 of them are teaching the children of migrant workers that this NGO was helping. Because they don't have a smartphone, these guys are making lesson plans on a daily basis and using normal mobile phones to talk to them, to send them SMSs, etc. because they can't reach them on smartphones. Again, they see a hindrance over there that after 9 o'clock, the man goes to work. So the smartphone or the phone goes with the man. So they're waking up at 5 in the morning to engage with those kids. That before the man of the house goes away with the phone, I've got to teach these kids. There are enough opportunities out there. If you reach out to companies, organizations, and say, I'm here, these are my talents, and I want to help you. Don't expect money, great, but you'll get the experience.
I think there are a lot of opportunities, but you have to move out and look for them, right? You can take the horse to the stream, but the horse has to drink from the stream.
Yeah.
Okay, Prikshit, this is one question I think you need to clear this. Yes, life happens outside.
Yeah.
Prikshit, in spite of the fact that we answered this in yesterday's webinar, all the students still are confused on BBA or BCom. Can you please help them? And secondly, what are the career options which students from commerce background have besides BBA and BCom? What else can they look at?
Okay, so let's break this into 3-4 areas. So commerce students, you have love for accounts, love for economics, love for maths and management. Okay, with or without maths. Okay, a lot of students ask question, I don't have maths in commerce. I mean maths with commerce. So is my career over? Can I do nothing? Or so number one is, if you have maths, it's a bonus, it's a bonanza. If you don't have maths, don't worry. Let's say there are top 100 universities which offer you a BBA program. If you don't have maths, the top 5 or 7 may say, okay, I'm sorry, because you don't have maths, so therefore you're not welcome. But rest 95 will allow you to do a BBA even without maths. Are we clear? However, universities like Delhi University does not offer you honors program if you don't have maths. Okay, but can I do BCom? Pass. Can I do BA? Can I do other courses? Absolutely. Okay, except the honors program. So therefore, this is about maths and no maths. Chartered accountancy. Do you need maths? No, you can very well survive without maths also. Okay, are we clear? Great. Now talking about BBA. Sorry, a lot of other options. Supposing you say, I want to go in the area of economics. So right from BSc economics, BA economics, economics major, BA economics, or economics with stats, economics with maths, economics into research, economics, pure economics, economics in MBA, economics and finance, economics and statistics, economics and data analytics, economics and IR, economics and psychology, behavioral economics, economics and tons of economics, and later civil services, so many areas. Let's talk about accounts. Accounts towards chartered accountancy, or a lot of people take it towards cost and works accountancy, chartered accountancy towards your CIMA, to ACCs, to CFAs, and so on. Management. With management, sky is the limit. Whether for management, please understand management, the last word is an MBA. Now MBA, you come from a BA or a BCom or ECO or a BBA, whatever you go with is MBA. Now, please understand, management is hospitality management, management is hospital management, finance, HR, infrastructure, sports management. Management is a crazy field. You can come from any branch, okay? It's the ultimate denominator. Okay, now let's also talk about other careers which commerce students can do, like law, hospitality, media, communication, design. A lot of students don't even know, can a commerce or an arts student study at IIT Mumbai, IIT Jabalpur? Can you study design? They have no idea. So therefore, there is an exam called UCEED. A commerce and arts student can also write and can do design. Now, design can be communication design. I saw the student asking me transport design, footwear design, product design, UI, UX, animation, graphics. All these opportunities are also open for commerce students. Okay, please understand, commerce students, just don't look at only those 2-3 Gisa Pita choices called chartered accountancy, BCom. The world has moved on and beyond. There are institutions, and many institutions will be present during the Affairs live virtual admission fair. Please understand, there are universities which give you very specialized fields after 12th. For example, without naming a university, there is a university that offers you BBA in risk management with KPMG. There is a BBA in insurance, BBA in banking, BBA finance. Oh yes, you must know this. BBA can be of 3 types. Okay, now I'm just answering. BBA can be BBA general. General means, please understand, you will do the entire curriculum but with no specialization. BBA can be BBA honors. BBA honors meaning,
I think his power has gone again.
Okay,
We can
no
come back to
worries.
that question. Let's move on to the next question.
Yes, I think first of all, I need to interject and say that we are extremely overwhelmed with the number of questions that we've got. We've just been flooded, and dear audience, it may be difficult for us to answer all your queries, but we'll try and generalize and take like a lot of people had queries on BBA, so I put up that question. Correct. And that probably answers around 15-20 people's answer. Having said that, Nirmal, what do you suggest students should do for uplifting their skill sets during the COVID when they could not decide? Any open sources you suggest, or what kind of, there are so many choices. So how do they decide what to do and how it's going to help them in the future, and resources? So if you can speak something on that, please.
Definitely. Again, pivoting back on what we said initially, that this is a time you can use productively to do a lot of things to upgrade your skills. So what are the skills we're talking about? Number one, obviously, is domain-specific skills. If you're interested in certain courses, believe you me, there's enough material out there which is available free. And so many of the top universities of the world have just said, take our material, take our courses, take our professors, take our lectures. It's out there on the net. Use it for free. There are sites like Khan Academy. I'm sure many of you have heard of Khan Academy. Every resource, every video, every lesson on Khan Academy is absolutely free of cost. You don't have to pay a single paisa for it. There are sites like Coursera, edX, Udemy, Udacity, Indian sites like Upgrad, etc., where you can take courses for free, or if you want a certification, you just pay 2,000-3,000 rupees or something and get a certification for a course that you love. So there's enough material out there. Harvard and MIT have an open courseware, which they've put on the net that take up lessons from our university professors. Imagine you're sitting in your living room taking a course from a Harvard University professor without paying anything. So this is a great time to be learning, and you have to be open-minded for it. So those are the domain-specific and hard skills. Now, on the second part, I want you to look at certain other skills that are very important in your life. And these are what we call soft skills, right? So these are skills that are not academic oriented, but will help you no matter what. When we were growing up, we didn't know what careers there would be in the future. So we could not really prepare ourselves in a domain that is going to give you a confirmed career for the next 50 years. Maybe IT will. IT, computer science, technology. So not as in you don't need to know coding, but you do need to know how to use technology, how to have the basic IT skills to be able to use a computer to do your work for you, including MS Word or Excel or PowerPoint, etc. Email, understanding spreadsheets, understanding database management. These are basic skills every employer is going to expect you to have. So understand the power of IT to automate your processes, to use it to help you do other things that will help you do in the corporate scenario. So work on these other skills. Communication skills are very important. Can I speak to the public? Can I communicate better? Can I write proper formatted emails? Can I write a thesis? Can I write some emails that will prove my point? Can I write a project report? These are all going to be very, very important for you. So please remember that this is the time for you to build on these skills, whether hard or soft.
Okay, Prikshit ji, there is a question for you because there are a lot of similar questions. lot of students are interested in pursuing liberal arts, but the parents are still skeptical about the children going into liberal arts. I think we've moved on. A lot of more careers have come up in liberal arts. Can you please help the students and answer the question more to the parents than to the students?
Dear parents, since I've been asked to address you, so all of you have suddenly become parents. All right, dear parents, liberal arts is it's not a concept which is new to India. You know, if you go back to the Nalandas and Takshilas of the world, India used to be one of the pioneers as far as liberal arts is concerned. What is liberal arts? Just to make you understand, very simple layman thing. Liberal arts is I am in love with political science. However, I want to understand society. I want to understand the historical perspective. Okay, so I study history. Because I am going to be dealing with people, I also want to understand psychology, sociology. All right, then to be dealing with a lot of statistical data here. Then I also want to understand Aristotle, Plato, what did they talk about? So philosophy. All right. So, also about science, because science gives me scientific temperament, rational. So I am going to read about a lot of other areas, and this is going to build me understand the international political scenario, Indian political scenario with a historical perspective, society, culture, everything. Now, I want to specialize in finance, but I also get to read about so many other areas to help me have a 360-degree view. And also, please understand, going forward, there was a time in India, let me make it easy for you. There was a time when we wanted generalists. Then we came down to specialists. All right. Now again, we are getting into an era where knowing about one skill may not be enough. Like, for example, say I'm a coach. Okay, I'm a coach, but tell me, can I live without technology interface today? No. Can I not understand what generational differences are? So therefore, each one of us has to unlearn, relearn, upskill in order to stay relevant. So going back to liberal arts is not just arts. Liberal arts is also arts and science. So for example, I want to study biology, but along with biology could be my main. I will also be picking up a lot of minors, cross-selectives within to study this. Number one. Number two, myths attached. Who should do liberal arts? Yes, there is a lot of research involved in liberal arts. It's a good, strong study. Will you get job opportunities after this? Yes. Is it a safe domain? Yes. Slightly expensive. Universities can charge. I mean, you know, certain universities, you will be spending about 5 to 8 lakh rupees a year. Suddenly, when it comes to this, vis-a-vis a Delhi university, so suddenly this becomes almost 10 times, 12 times the cost. You will have to consider that. However, is it a safe domain to study? Is it the future? Absolutely. It is futuristic, and don't worry about it. My only request will be, please study about it. Get more awareness. Okay. Otherwise, you will still be thinking, oh, no, liberal arts, it doesn't make sense. These students will be sorted, will be taken care of as far as the future is concerned. Okay.
Nirmal, we have a lot of questions on students wanting to know about SAT, because a lot of Indian universities have started asking for SAT score. So if you could just break the myth about, you know, that SAT is only for overseas education, and, you know, how do they go about it? That would be very helpful.
Right. Hi, Messi. That's PD sir's nice little puppy, Messi. Okay. Thanks for that question. I was about to address that. In fact, I saw a couple of questions on the SATs. Now, what we know about is the SAT is an examination that is useful for students who are going to apply to US universities. It has 2 sections. I know some people wanted to know the composition. It has 2 sections. One is English and one is maths. And you get a score out of 800 for English and a score out of 800 for maths. If you're going to apply to US, yes, you should give the SATs, because most of the universities there would require a score in the SAT. However, Of late, over the last few years, about 30-35 Indian universities have also said, we will accept the SAT score if you've given it. It is not compulsory. Remember that. It is not compulsory for you to give the SAT if you're applying for Indian institutions. But if you are someone who was applying to US institutions and had given a SAT, that score can be used to secure admission into many universities in India, including Ashoka, Flame, Ahmedabad University, Jindal, etc., etc. There's about 35 which you can go to the College Board site and find out the names of. I do not recommend doing an expensive test like SAT if you're applying only to an Indian university. If you have already given the SAT for your admissions to US, yes, you can use that and not have to give any extra additional test for the Indian universities, but don't give an expensive test like SAT only for the Indian universities. Then just go ahead and do the Indian-based tests, which are much cheaper. So as simple as that. If you're already doing it, then yes, by all means use it. You have 35 universities which will not require any additional tests.
I was
Yes.
talking about that thing when the electricity went and I got left off.
Yeah.
Dear students, I was talking about 3 things about BBA. Number 1 is BBA General. I talked about no specialization. Second was BBA Honors. BBA Honors is when first 2 years you study the regular subjects and then third year you specialize. Specialization is dependent upon the university. You could specialize in operations, IT, HR, finance, marketing, and so on. Third is called BBA Insurance, BBA Banking, BBA Finance, meaning from first day itself, you have a specialization, and all 3 years you will do that specialization. Dear students, a lot of you will make a mistake. BBA General, enough seats are not available. Let me straight away go for BBA Computers, BBA IT, BBA Insurance, BBA Banking, BBA Risk Management. Don't do that if you are not clear. You've been wanting to do an IT and you want to do a BBA IT program forever. Go ahead. You are absolutely sure about finance. Your maths, stats is amazing. You want to go ahead, go. But otherwise, don't jump into a niche area just because seats are available. Don't do that, because later on, what if you do BBA Banking and 3 years later you're like, no, this is not my cup of tea. Then you start all over again. So otherwise, if possible, go for BBA General or a BBA Honors. All right, clear? Great.
Okay, PD, there's one more question which I would like you to answer, please. There are a lot of students who are saying that we would like to pursue law, but can you please shed some light on what are the new specialization which will have a better future if I want to pursue law in the coming years?
Okay, number 1, you can go to law from science, commerce, humanities, whichever area. All right, science students can study BA LLB, can also study BSc LLB. There are colleges which offer you BSc LLB. Commerce students, you can do BA or a BCom or a BBA LLB. Okay, now suddenly someone asked me a question. I will do BBA or BCom LLB. I will become a corporate lawyer. No, it's all myth. Okay, you will study just commerce subjects. That doesn't make you a corporate lawyer. Corporate lawyer can be a science graduate, can be a arts LLB also. Clear? Next is, there is nothing called specialization in India. You don't do specializations, though few universities in India do offer BA LLB with specializations. Okay, how do you specialize? You specialize once you finish your law, then you continue working in that domain for a very long time, and then you pick it up as your specialization. However, during your law, you will pick up few electives. For example, environmental law, cyber law, corporate law, civil law. You will anyway do that. Intellectual property rights and so on. Competition law and so on. Next, are there brilliant specializations available? Yes. Today, law is like, I mean, I can go on and spend next 1 hour on law. However, a lot of myths attached to law. Girls, it doesn't make sense to do law. Why? Because you have to go to courts, you have to meet these people and so. Sorry, out. Next, law has to be done by someone who has to have a godfather. Your parents or your grandparents have to have legal practice. No godfather-in-law, no background in law, no problem. You can still do phenomenally well in law. Next, you do law. After law, you specialize, you do your masters, or you go to Indian Judicial Services. You become a judge and then gradually move to High Court and Supreme Court. Next, law and economics. You could work with non-banking financial corporations. You work with financial institutions, or you could work with UN and so on. Law and political science, law and international relations, law and diplomacy, law and MBA, law and publishing, law and research, law and writing, law and LPO, legal process outsourcing, law and working in law firms, law or working with multinational corporations, every law, and working with startups. So law, please understand, my dear students, just like I keep talking about media, communication, hospitality, management, these are brilliant fields. Explore, read about them.
Thank you, Prikshit ji. You've broken some in fact, you've answered around 40 questions because they were all in and around this topic. Yeah. Thank you so much, because with two things we've answered, almost 40 questions. Nirmal, I would like you to answer this. Many students are saying that we are an average student and we've scored around between 70 to 80% or around 70-75%, and we feel very demotivated, while we are seeing that students are getting 90, 95. So we really don't know what to do. What are your suggestions for students who are average? That's a tough one, huh? PD, you also need to help the students who are average students.
I'd love to answer after Nirmal. I'd like to answer that also.
In fact, I would like to break that myth first. No one is average. All of us have something that is special. We just may have not found it yet. We have to keep looking. And there's this famous saying, if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, then obviously, it's a famous saying. So you got to find something that is special about you, that you love doing, please go in and find your passion. For me, life is about finding what makes you tick, finding what your passion is. If you can wake up every morning and say, I'm happy, I want to do this work today, that's your passion. We don't want you to force yourself to do what everyone else around you is doing. Yeah, someone might be getting a 98%. Great, that person is fantastic. You might have something else which is special about you that person might say, I wish I was like XYZ. I wish I could speak like this person. I wish I could run like this person. I wish I was as popular as this person is. So there's always something unique about you, something special about you. You just have to believe in yourself. Trust me, if you can have that, it's all here. Your life ahead is inside the 6 inches between your ears is your life. It's played over here, not in the field outside. Have that positive attitude that I can make something. Yes, maybe you'll not get into a dream college, because unfortunately in India, college is about performance. College is about academic performance to get in. But believe you me, there are so many more universities in India, and PD and SANJEEV will confirm this. There are so many universities in India that are going beyond academics now. They're looking at you holistically. That what else do you love doing? Are you a leader in your school community? You might be a great sportsman, and yet, yes, you can get into colleges and get a decent education. So please do not give up. Please do not be dejected. Please do not be demoralized. It is the beginning of your life. You cannot go through life like this. Find out what you're good at. Work hard. There is no substitute for hard work. There are some people who are very talented and they waste their life away. There are others who are less talented, but with hard work, they've made something out of their life. And that's the difference maybe between a Sachin Tendulkar and a Rahul Dravid. Sachin was infinitely more talented maybe, and he worked hard, and there he was. Rahul always said that maybe I didn't have the talent, but he was always a very, very hard worker. And look at where he went, at par with Sachin, because of his hard work and his ethics, work ethics. So please, I will not believe you're average. I will never believe that.
Fantastic.
Yes, Peter, I wanted to say something.
Thank you, Nirmal. 90% job done. So okay. My first reaction would be no one's average. Okay, we choose to be average. Okay, this is a choice. Please understand. It's a choice. So therefore, if you want to be average, it's your choice. Unless if there is medically something wrong, or you have challenges, limitations, I can totally agree. But please understand, it is your choice how you spend your 24 hours. You want to simply sit on a couch, keep having potato chips or nachos, and keep watching every series, or PUBG, Fortnite, FIFA 20, FIFA, whatever, keep doing that, your choice. Or sit up and study. Now, study doesn't mean only academics. You could make a career in sports. You could make a career in performing arts. It could be dance, music, whatever, your choice. But you have to do something. Please understand, there are about 7.5 billion people in India, in the world. 7.5 billion. I was like, wow. Okay, out of 7.5 billion, you have to read how many of them go for a kill. Kill meaning go for to become rich. Out of which 4.5 billion, 750. And there are, you know how many people can be called rich and wealthy? 200 million across the world. Why? It's not because their forefathers have left it. They decided to not be average. Simple. Number one. Number two, you've got 60%, you got 55%, you've got 70, 75%. Can you still make a brilliant career? Yes. It's okay. You did not study. You never thought study had this thing. And now suddenly a realization has come in. You know what? Nahi yaar, I've taken it lightly. No problem. Will life give you a second chance? Possibly. How do you give yourself a second chance? You don't have a percentage, no college will take you. What can you do? Entrance exam is the best solution for you. How? Entrance exams ask for a minimum. Few entrance exams 60. IITs used to ask for, they still ask for 75. Normally all entrance exams is 45, 50 or 60. Now you say, hold on, I've got a 52. If 2 months, 1 month, 3 months, you pick up 5 entrance exams, 3 entrance exams, and you say maths, reasoning, English reasoning, analytical reasoning, GK, English. I am going to give my everything to cracking this exam. Let me tell you, I worked with students who got 62, 58 in their 12th class, went on to crack the top national law exams in the country. Once you crack an exam, they don't look at interview. There is no interview. There is no 12th class marks. It's only crack the entrance test. You are in the merit list. You made it. So therefore, my dear students, if you are in that category, figure out few entrance exams, go mad about it. Then after you've cracked a seat and you go to a college and someone asks you, what did you do? You don't have to tell them, I had a 58. Well, I had a 98 and both of us are studying in the same college. Yes, that's life.
Thank you. Okay, before we end, I just want you to answer or address the students. Besides academics, what are the soft skills or qualities you think is important to be really successful in life? Because if you go to some top marquee colleges, I think everybody is above 90%, where the cutoff was 90%. But what are the qualities or characteristics or some soft skills which make people actually successful in life, which today's generation fail to realize? Nirmal.
Yeah.
Okay. Give toss.
First,
Toss and
Nirmal.
you decide.
Yeah. First, Nirmal.
Okay. So many. And we often neglect these. So what are the soft skills companies are looking for? You go to any company, you might have domain specific skills. And I sort of addressed this question a bit earlier, that you might be great at accounting and finance, but are you good with working in a team? Can you lead a team? So you might have an office with 30 people and you're sitting in one corner, you're not meeting any other people, you're not able to work together, you're not able to contribute to the joint goals of the team, etc. That is a soft skill you need to develop. You want to move ahead in life, you got to be a leader. You got to understand how to delegate tasks, how to participate along with everyone else in doing things together as a true leader, right? So leadership is another soft skill. Another one that you have to look out is, how do I critically analyze problems and come up with creative solutions for them? Everything that you're going to do from now on in life is going to be about situations that you face and how to overcome those situations, problems that you're going to face and how to find out solutions to those problems in maybe a more efficient way, maybe in a better manner than the traditional way of doing things. So critical analysis and problem solving again comes in. Communication. Can I write well? Can I speak well? Can I put my point across in a meeting? Am I someone who keeps quiet because I'm scared of speaking out and no one even notices me in a meeting? If I want to move up in an organization, I might know my work, but I need to speak it also. I need to convince those people, etc. right? So a lot of these are soft skills. And very importantly, as you move forward, again, I touched upon this, is the IT skills. You have to have IT skills in the world that we are in. It's around us. We are using IT right now as we talk. We are using IT in everything that we are doing. There's artificial intelligence, machine learning. There's so many things happening around us. You got to have an understanding of it. If not coding, I'm talking about an understanding. So these are skills you need to have that will help you succeed no matter where you are. And remember, your domain skills may keep changing because your careers may change. Careers may get obsolete. Moving forward 20 years later, what you've studied in school or college will no longer be relevant. You can learn all that on a phone. You can just search for it and get everything over here. You have to understand how to analyze this information that's over here. You have to be able to use it to solve your problems or to address issues. Yes, sir. I'll not complete it. I'll leave you to address the rest of it.
Yes.
No. This is not fair. You completed it. 100 on 100. Okay. The board result is out. CBSE has given you 100 on 100. And that is cheating. Now I have no scope.
Okay. I allot to both of you 110 out of 100.
I'd like to add one thing, students and parents, and especially your parents will understand this. Why there is a huge disconnect between certain generations, all right? And I'm saying, I am giving it to you, young students, you're a smarter generation than any one of us. I give it to you. However, there are certain other things that come with this generation. There are tons of distractions, okay? And the ability to work hard. I'm not saying you don't do that. A lot of you do that. The ability to work hard. A lot of you will say, why do we need to sweat it out? Why did you guys work so hard? What is work-life balance? I need to chill. Agreed. But please understand, if you don't work hard, you will contract chills. You will get chills. So my dear students, please understand, whether it's a Sunday or a Monday, your ability to put in hours and hours of hard work, that's still not gone out of fashion. It will never go out of fashion. Never ever. I can vouch it and write it to you, give it to you in writing. Hard work will never go out of fashion. And let me tell you, I may have trained 2 million, 3 million, whatever million. I am yet to meet a student, yet to meet a single student who's made it without hard work in any skill, whether sports or any career. Even if that guy, suddenly people come to me and say, Prikshit, look at YouTubers. They've got millions. Tell me something. Did that guy one day get up in the morning and had 1 million followers? He also started by 1 follower. So you get to see these superstars. Hey, look at Messi and Ronaldo and Neymar and Salah. Excuse me, they were not born on the football field. They have taken 10, 15 years of hard work to reach there. So all you Instagram influencers, suddenly you see people with 10 million, 5 million, 20 million followers. Please understand, you see that and you don't see lakhs and lakhs of them who have done everything in the world. They will have 100, 500,000, 10,000, 20,000 followers. You don't become an international star or an instant celebrity. It is not 2 minutes Maggi noodles. It takes years of preparation. If you get that, I think our being here is justified. My dear students, please, there is no shortcut. You like it or you don't. Even if you have access to Google, Alexa, or Siri, you need to know how to ask for the right information, and you need to know, out of tons of information, how to find that gold information. It will take hard work, nothing but hard work. God bless you all.
Thank you so much.
Sanjeev,
I think
before we end, sorry.
Thank you so much. Yeah, please, Nirmal, please,
Okay.
sorry.
I'm on a drawing spree today. As you noticed, I drew once. So something else that I just drew out for our students and parents over there. Okay, this is an iceberg. Again, because of the selfie, it turns the other way around. What you're seeing sometimes when you look at the YouTube influencers and everyone else is the success at the top. Below the ocean line is the years and years, and look at the depth here. This is the hard work. You're not seeing the hard work, you're seeing only the success. So what PD sir is exemplified, what PD said is exemplified over here. This is the hard work you have to put to rise above the top and be an iceberg.
Thank you so much. While Nirmal and PD sir has spoken about icebergs, and now I have one word of advice to all my students out there. Just chill, relax. We have the virtual admissions fair live today. Please go on. There's nothing to stress. We have a lot of counselors today who will guide you on choosing the right information, on choosing the right college from the comfort of your home. Please log on to virtualadmissionsfair.com. Talk to the counselors. They have a lot of scholarships on offer. You can do a video call, you can do a WhatsApp call, or you can even do a phone call with them. And thank you so much to everybody. Special thanks. Yes, sir. Please add on, Prikshit ji.
Even talking to a university requires hard work. You have to ask the right questions. You have to know about the course, their curriculum, when is it starting, what are the specialities, the USP, financial, so many questions to ask before you take that decision. That's also hard work. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for adding that. In fact, you are helping me also accomplish my goals. Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody. God bless you and stay safe. Thank you, Prikshit ji. Thank you, Nirmal. It was a wonderful session.
Our pleasure.
Thank you,
pleasure.
Sanjeev. You're doing a brilliant job. Please keep doing this. Great. Thank you. Thank you, Nirmal. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.